Good morning, everyone, and thanks for taking the time to join us for our Zeld webinar series, Keep Calm and Get Digital. My name is Helen, and I will be your moderator for today's webinar. Over the last few months, a lot of businesses had turned to digital. Some have just started in this space. For others, it has been about growing their online presence and increasing their knowledge. No matter where you and your company are currently at in your digital transformation, it's important that you keep informed and up to date with the ever-changing digital space. Enticing customers to your site is the first step in getting online sales, and that is reflected in the language you use to offer products and services. Today's webinar provides useful insight into how best to maximize the written word on your site. We know how much time it can take to do your own research and get the right information. So today's topic, tips for creating high converting product descriptions and other sales content, is to give you an overview and some helpful information on what is helping other businesses be successful in 2020. Today, our speaker is Lisa Meyer, Zeld's Client Services Manager. Lisa has a wealth of digital knowledge and extensive experience in many industries ranging from farming to corporate. Before I hand over to Lisa, there are just a couple of quick housekeeping points to cover for the benefit of those who perhaps haven't joined us previously. At any point, feel free to post questions. We will save most of these till question and answer at the end. However, please feel free to post them as we go, as it may make sense to bring them up during the segment. Once we get to the question and answer section, you can participate by either putting your hand up to ask a question or just posting them for me to read. I hope you enjoy today's session, and I would now like to invite Lisa to talk us through her presentation, tips for creating high converting product description and other sales content.
Thanks, Helen. I'm very excited to be here today, everyone. Just realised how much of a mouthful today's webinar topic is. So yes, tips for creating high converting product descriptions and other sales content. Today, we won't really be having any expert tips as we do go through the webinar. However, it's because basically every slide is a tip in itself. So there's quite a lot of knowledge for you to take away from today. And of course, this will be available online later if you need to go back and sort of get any of that information again. So what am I covering today? I am covering off sales content, what it is, product description, copywriting, and knowing your target customer, using your customer's language, using your UVP, so unique value proposition, features versus benefits, focusing on your customers' needs and pain points, being specific, helping your customers visualize, very important online, make your copy scannable, adding your keywords, using social proof, and then tips for writing other types of sales content as well. So today is heavily focused on the product description copywriting. However, a lot of this will translate across to other types of sales content on your website. So sales content, what is it? So sales content are pieces of content on your website that are specifically designed to entice and persuade your visitors to make a purchase or to inquire. It focuses on your businesses and the products or services you offer. So yeah, persuading the visitors to make a purchase. So it's focusing on your business and the products or services you offer. It highlights the features and benefits of your offer. It defines a solution to your customers' problems. And that's very key, because often when people are coming, they may not know their problem yet, but as you're talking about solutions to what your product or service solves, people then realize how it relates to them. Provides customers with a straightforward reason as to why they should choose you over your competitors, which again is very important, especially online. And then the different types of sales content there are product pages or service pages for some. There's your homepage, which is a very key area. And then there's areas such as case studies that will also help on your website, which sometimes people use as like projects or just highlighting people that they've worked with. And then testimonials, so real reviews and testimonials from their customers or clients that they've worked with previously. And then last but not least, the About Us page. So learning more about you, building trust and credibility through who you and your business is. So product description and copywriting. So your product descriptions are some of the most important pieces of sales content on your website. This also translates through to service page information as well. And the reason why they're so important is they contain all the information that your customers need to know in order to create a purchasing decision. So as you can see here in this example, this is a product page, and we've just got this description down the bottom here. This is what we're talking about. So it needs to contain the features and specifications of your products, and it needs to clearly illustrate how your products or services can benefit the customer. So how to create high converting product descriptions? Well, the first step is knowing your target customer. So there's no point, if you're selling baby clothes, there's no point trying to target people who don't have children, aren't interested in children. You need to know your customer. You need to be, because that's where your content needs to be targeted towards. So what you can do to help you with this is you basically create an avatar or a persona, is what's quite often used in the marketing world. So you create this persona of your ideal customer and write your product descriptions with them in mind. So each time you sort of, this is where you do get quite specific. You might give them an age range. So you might say between 30 and 40. You might give them even sometimes a salary bracket, or what is likely to be their household earning. You might also give them whether they have, so for example, if you're someone who sells a lot of, if you're a vet and you sell animal products, you're obviously going to be targeting people who love animals and have animals. So that's what you're trying to think of, is who is your ideal customer. If you don't know that, sometimes your Google Analytics will be able to give you some insight into this to help build this person as well. Then in your product description, make sure you're using words that they can identify with. So you, your, and yours, because it indicates that as they're reading it, they feel like it's written directly for them. And that way they're relating to it better. So that's knowing your target customer. The next step is using your customer's language as well. So you need to use expressions, phrases, and jargons that most resonate with your ideal customers. So again, keeping them in mind. There's no point writing, for example here, about beard oil. There's no point writing that if you're thinking of a female audience. You're trying to focus on a more male audience and writing things that will relate to them. So what you can do in this space is you can go online and you can research. So check online forums, check the social media platforms, check any blog posts or words your customers use, so the way they interact with you. Another really good hint here is you can always go check out your competitors, or sometimes you can go and check out, they might not, well, they are probably still a competitor, but they might be someone you're aspiring to get to the level of in your business. So you can check them out and see how they're using their language within their products and also their content on their website. So yeah, using your customer's language, so always important why, it helps you connect, build trust, and make your brand more memorable to customers. So I think this is, again, it's just an important thing to think about. If you're a law firm and you're thinking about how you're going to approach and write to your customers, you're obviously going to be quite professional. You're going to be wanting to come across as a place of knowledge and advice and trusted. Whereas if it's the local burger joint, you're going to be relating to wanting just people to be happy. You might be a bit more relaxed and casual in your copy because you're sort of going, come grab a bite to eat, and getting them in the door just to grab something yum to eat. So you've got to take yourself through that journey to understand the best way to relate to your customers. Next up is your unique value proposition. Now, this one's a very big one, and I'm going to cover it off again a little later as well. So your unique value proposition is what makes you stand out from your competitors. It's what is going to have people go, this is why I choose you. Now, for some businesses, this is really easy and simple. For others, it's sort of, it might be the same as what your competitors is, but you need to write it in a better way. So what makes your product and your business different? So this is where you're highlighting these, like I said. So if, let's say, like we've got here, it's herbs. If it's organic, you might want to point that out because your competitors might not be using organic. Or if you are using herbs that haven't had pesticides on them, you should point that out. People like to know that information and they often are looking for it. Not only will it come up in your product description, but it's also going to be very helpful for the search engine as well, especially if you're the only one that's offering something like that when it comes to a point of difference. You need to specify as well how your product's UVP, unique value proposition, can solve your customer's problem. So again, here, we've talked organically grown, and then we immediately go on to how it will boost the horse's immune system. So this is for a vet company. And so this is what you're looking for. You've got to solve the customer's problem. And then show your customers why your product is best for them. And this is what your UVP does. So, it's organic, maybe it's got no pesticides, things like that will then go make the client or customer go, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that's quite natural, that I know won't be harmful and has no added chemicals into it, which is in the world where we're in now is the way we're starting to head. Next up is now covering off features and benefits within the product description. And again, also an area I'll cover off a bit later too. But features and benefits are important. However, benefits are often more important. So product features are facts that describe the characteristics or components and functionality of your products, whereas product benefits are bits of information that tells your customers how your product can improve their lives or meet their desires. So with the product feature, it's important to highlight that. So think clothing, that's where you're going. It's a red t-shirt, it's made from cotton, that's the feature of that product. Then you move into the benefits of it. So it might be cotton, so it's quite warm but cool in summer, it's a loose fit, it's not tight, and you're now starting to go into the benefits of why they would want to buy it. So it's a loose fit, it's nice and comfy to wear in summer, it'll keep you warm but will keep you cool, and making them have a bit more of a connection with the product at that time. You need to make sure that the benefits outweigh the cost of the product, because often people are looking for value. So when they feel that those benefits have delivered value to them and that it meets the cost that you're asking for, then they're more likely to buy it. And then another area of your product that you need to make sure that the product description that you're focusing on is carrying on from features and benefits really, but it's now highlighting your customers' need and pain points. So this is where, and generally you do it when you're creating your persona as well. You list you put together a list of your customers' needs and pain points. So why would they be buying this product from you? And then you will be marking out how can they solve, how your product can solve each of these pain points. Sometimes, like I said earlier, people don't know they have a pain point or a need for your product. But if you put your copy in a particular way where after you've worked out your persona and their needs and pain points as to why they would buy, you will be able to craft your copy to be solutionizing. And then when people read it, they all of a sudden go, this is what I need. This is, I didn't realize I needed it, but now you've pointed out how this will help me and what it will, what the solution for me will be. And now I realize I actually need it. And in particular, it's just your solution should be really sorting out any pain they may have in their life. So, I mean, for me, I've probably experienced this recently. I go to the gym a lot, and my calf muscles have been quite tense from cycling. And so I didn't really know, I do stretches, but it wasn't really working. And then I came across massage guns. Didn't really know I needed one, but sort of watched a video and started reading through their product description, and it made me feel like I needed it because it was going to solve my problems of having tight calf muscles. So that's the sort of thing you've got to start thinking of. I didn't really know it would help me, but it did pop up and I started reading through it, and their product description made me realize how it could help me. and also how much easier it was than stretching all the time. So it was saving me time. Now, the next bit is around being specific. So we've covered off quite a lot today of creating your persona and putting in features and benefits and putting all this content together. I think within that, though, you need to then make it very specific. So even though you might have a lot of content to share and a lot of features and benefits, you need to start making it very specific and make sure that you're taking away the fluff from that content, still trying to get the message across. So this is where you need to think about avoiding repetitive and overused phrases like high quality product. Okay, so everyone likes to say they've got a high quality product, and most people do. So there's no disputing that, but it's a common knowledge. What you want to sell them maybe on, and leading back to my organic, you might want to highlight that it's organic and no pesticides or no chemicals are used. And that's what you want to be specific around. Innovative and groundbreaking and other examples of quite frequently used phrases. And those are things just to be aware of. Don't use your content to add in more fluff. And then you use this specifically to show why your products are best. So again, you're pulling out keywords of why your product, your UVP, why it stands out against competitors, and you're putting this into the content so you can show why you're the best and why your products are the best. You can show your product's features quite easily and then its corresponding benefits. So I think some places that do this really well generally tend to be food or medicines or tablets, etc., where they sort of highlight the features. So this one talks about humidity, crude fat, crude fiber, etc., and then it goes straight into the benefits for the animal on this. So that's something to keep in mind. And I think generally when we go through this with customers, we're basically having a side-by-side table, and we're putting the feature here and we're putting the benefit here. And so every feature should have a benefit. And then being specific adds credibility and makes your copy more persuasive as well. So this is the why. Why do we do this? And it is to create that credibility and just make it more persuasive for your client. Because you've got to remember, you don't have the opportunity most of the time to talk directly to your client when they're looking through your website. Now, the next one will be helping your customers visualize a positive experience. So humans are still very visual, and you've got to create that over your website. So one way to do this is by using sensory words that might appear to your customers' senses. So food is our example here, but you're thinking, you want to put in words where it's delectable, smooth, lightweight, non-abrasive, words that provide a feel and make you, in particular for food, maybe make your mouth start watering. So here is a good one where it talks about a sprinkle of sea salt gives this flavor a subtle contrast of sweet and salty. So immediately I'm starting to think sweet and salty, or I really like that kind of food. I like salted caramel. And so that's what you're trying to get them to do, is have an emotion towards your product. So the next bit, create a scenario where they can imagine themselves using your product and how much they will enjoy its benefits. So another thing here, sunglasses, quite easy. You want people to start thinking about being out in the sun. It's being sunny, they're enjoying themselves, maybe they're relaxing on a beach, and why not have a pair of sunglasses protecting your eyes? So the benefits is that your eyes are protected, maybe your style makes them look cool, but they're already thinking about summer and getting very excited. And excited feelings generally lead to buying. Use the words imagine, enjoy, and indulge to create this immersive experience for your customers. So those are sort of words you can drop in there and get them understanding how it will make them feel. And now going back a little bit as well, but relates to making it specific, is also making your copy scannable. So big sentences, big paragraphs do not work. You need to keep the sentences short. So it's better to have one feature, don't have 10 features in a row in one sentence. You know, one way you can do this is just by doing bullet points, especially like I showed before, the vet and the tablets, they had the bullet points for each of the features of the tablet. You can use headlines to create a visual trail that will guide the customers as they read the top copy. So, you know, the big heading up here, description, and then leading into the information. One key thing here they could do a bit, add to this is they could have color bolded and then have the color detail there as well. So using the tools you have for making your text a bit different while following your style guide and just drawing people's eyes to information. So avoid having huge chunks of text on your page. So like we said, big long sentences, big long paragraphs will not help. People aren't interested in reading that much. If they are, they will continue to read, or they might go to your blog if you have one. But when you're trying to sell a product, they want to see the information right there and there and make it easy. And so utilizing white space, so this quite fits in quite well with this huge chunk of text. So utilizing white spaces makes your copy easier to read. So spacing it out, not having it all clumped together, this all creates a more positive experience for clients and customers, and makes them feel at ease when they're reading on your website. Great. And then another bit, which is now starting to get a bit more advanced, but it's always something, if you're sitting down and you're going to be doing this, I want to give you as many tips and trying to get as much value into this as possible. So this one is more for SEO, but it's important to add your keywords into your product descriptions. So your keywords can be found through some of your Google Analytics reports, so what people are using to find you. If you do Google AdWords, there's a keyword research tool within Google AdWords that you can use. But keywords are important because it's what's going to help your website rank better, which means more people, if they're looking for those words, keywords, they will come to your website, or at least it will display for them. So if you're not quite sure, you don't have Google Analytics, you don't have Google AdWords, well, what you can do is you can type in keywords you think that your customers will use into Google, see if your competitors pop up, see if you pop up, and then it's more likely that people are using those words. And so this, like I said, the main goal of this really, and why it's important to do, is that it's going to help increase your chances of getting higher rankings and search results. So getting you higher and higher up to that #1 spot on the Google search page. And so it is important. If it's not something you've really got the skills, or you're a bit nervous around, always talk to an expert or get some advice. But it is something you can do. And if you are going to review all your products and services and how they're written, it's just another thing that's so easy to add in. I do guess one thing I haven't got on here. Yep, no, I didn't put it on. Don't make your sentences just be keywords though. So don't just be trying to cram your keywords in so much that your sentences just doesn't really make sense, or doesn't then highlight your features and benefits because you've just tried to put too many keywords in there. Okay, and then I think it's the last one. So using social proof. So here's a little bit of a fact, but yes, according to my testimonial engine, 72% of customers won't take action before checking reviews. I am a big advocate for that because I know I do it all the time. Okay, so one way you can help is having reviews directly on your product or service. So this can be reviews or testimonials from happy clients or customers, and it's just letting other people know that yes, someone's tried this out. Someone's actually had this product, someone's gone and had this service and they liked it. And to be honest, there's more happy reviews than there are bad reviews, and that's really good to know too. It will also help, you can also help with this by highlighting any key terms or quotes directly from customers in this. And then you can, if possible, add images to the testimonials, which makes the statement more credible as well. So I am, like I said, I'm a big advocate for this. I know every time I go to buy an appliance for the house, I'm constantly checking for reviews. And as I've gone more digital, so I buy supplements. There was a supplement I wanted to try. No one had reviewed it, so I actually didn't try it. I waited until some people reviewed it, found out that it was tasting good, it was going, and they had the right experience with it. And so then I decided I would try it. And now we're going to take some of that and we're going to relate it to other forms of sales content on your website, because a lot of that is the base of how to create good sales content for your website. It was more specific to products and services, but a lot of those key items will help you easily tweak your other areas and sales content on your website. So first of all, we have homepage copywriting. So the homepage is probably the biggest area that people will know you by online, because it's the first area they'll always come to when they come to your site, unless they're directly clicking through to somewhere else, or from somewhere else. So here it's around headlines and subheadlines. So this is the UVP as well, unique value proposition, which we've touched on. So your headline and subheadline, so here the UVP, are the most critical parts of your homepage. This is because when someone lands on that homepage, it's the first 3 to 5 seconds where they're reading and they're going, is this website where I want to be? So we say must only be 6 to 12 words long. It's that whole keeping it specific. It's not your chance to tell a whole story. It's your chance to be very specific to get across what you do. So start thinking elevator pitches. So concisely shows the end benefits of what you offer and your unique value proposition. So, you know, there's no point being a plumber and you go on to your plumbing website and your UVP just sort of goes services all areas in Auckland. That's not a helpful UVP. And the reason for that is because I'm going, well, doing what? I don't really know anything about you. You know, if it's more plumbing services and fixes all across Auckland region, you know, that's starting to give me more an idea of what you're doing. That's not the best UVP either. I'm thinking on my feet there. But that's, you know, the type of information you need to start thinking about. Then the next most important part on the homepage is highlighting your products and services, and features and benefits. I think we've wrapped those together. Yeah. So highlighting your products and services and features and benefits on the page, you should have some fixed areas for these. So you need to dedicate and explain, these are our products and services, and then another area which will explain how your product and service works and clearly describe how it benefits your customers. So you can't obviously do this you're not doing it for individual products and services. You're now sort of taking the common denominators of your products or your services, and you're saying these are the main features and benefits and what we can offer you. Another way to also look at this, in particular with an e-commerce website that's selling products, a benefit that often is put on the homepage, and I think is a very important one, is like, for example, if you offer free shipping. So free same day or next day delivery, something like that. That is a huge benefit to put on your website if you are more a e-commerce website. People like free shipping, and I keep feeling like I'm talking about myself, but I, for one, I hate spending money on shipping. It irritates me. I feel like I'm not getting any benefit from it. And then like the other bit is about next day. So knowing that I can get my delivery the next day. Oh, well, I was going to pop out today, but if it's only going to be tomorrow that I get it, that's brilliant. I'm happy to do the shipping. So thinking around items that your business provides, as well as your products and services overall. And then another key part for your homepage, and one that I often see is left out, is adding call to actions. So again, here we have it here, shop now. That's very small, but it does say shop now. So here is where you want to add a call to action to get people to go and do something else on your website. And it should be scattered throughout that page too. You should always be leading people to go elsewhere in your website to learn more, shop now, find out about the service, book, etc. So make these bright. So generally your call to action will contrast the image or the color behind it, and it's to encourage then customers to take the action. And then some other important areas, the About Us copywriting. So this is where people are now trying to build trust and credibility with you. They want to know who you are, what you stand for, how you started, who the team members are, in particular if it's services. So this is your chance to share your story to your customers. So this is talking about your company history, story of why you started, anything like your brand mission, your visions, your goals, and also re-highlight what makes you unique. So another chance to write your UVP, but actually put more behind it as well. And then meet the team. Like I said, services more often than just an e-commerce shop, but it's a chance for you to introduce your team. So you can dedicate a whole section or a second level page underneath your About Us content that shows the members of your team. It helps humanize it. It makes me go, great, these are the people I'm most likely going to talk to. This is great. You can also then use the space to describe a little bit about them, the work they do for the company and passions, interests, or even sometimes just highlighting their experience as well, depending on what your services are. And then I also touched on case studies. So a case study is a form of testimonial review, but it's much larger than that. It's sort of taking someone through the whole project. So how we started off with a client or a customer and where we ended up. Again, this is more for services. I think for e-commerce and products, you're more looking for reviews or testimonials. But if it's sort of a service you deliver and you're working on pieces of whole contracts, whole projects at a time. So like maybe a builder building a house, you would look to start getting some case studies together. So it records an objective analysis of the company's success. It outlines the methods employed that led to that company or client's success. You use real data to support the results. So it might be how fast you turn the house around. It could do with some of the features you built within the house. So, you know, special windows that you got put in place, which then provides more, keeps the heat in better, I should say. So parts of a case study could be an overview of the company. So this is the client, not yourself. What the problem was with the issue and how you guys came together to what product and service helped. The solution, so why this product or service provided them this relief. And then the process, so how our product addresses the problem through the process. And then last but not least, which is probably one of the most important bits, is the result. So because we did all this and this is how the product helped, this is how successful it was at helping the client. And then leading on to this, and this, like I said, is touching a bit more on e-commerce, is the testimonials. So according to BigCommerce, 92% of customers read reviews before buying, which is what I was talking about earlier. And then according to Vendasta, 88% of customers trust online testimonials and reviews in the same way they trust recommendations from friends and family. So you need to highlight real statements from real customers. This will help you as it will add the customer's image to make, you can help with this by adding the customer's image to make their statement more credible. You can encourage customers to be more specific about what they love about the product. And you can explore different types of content to achieve this. So whether it's just a little quote, whether it's a video, which sometimes works quite powerful if you're doing more services. It could be a social media post highlighting this client and how you've helped them. And like I said, images as well can be helpful here. So now we are moving on to the question section today. So feel free to use the Q&A button to be sending through questions.
Thanks, Lisa. Excellent presentation and great explanation on using features and benefits in copywriting and what a call to action is. I hope you've all found Lisa's presentation insightful and picked up some useful tips on how to relate to your customers through your website. Lisa, just a couple of questions. You've provided quite a few tips and tricks to writing good product descriptions. What is one of the key ones to focus on?
Good question. I think I'm going to be cheeky here and I'm just going to say there's two. It's being specific, but making sure you talk about the features and benefits. So I think something for me, in particular over the lockdown period, I've been buying more clothes online. And I've just realized how specific, yet highlighting features and benefits the stores I've bought from are. So this is where I've realized I like to know if something's a tight fit or a loose fit. So I've bought a couple of singlets. So I've obviously had a few ups and downs here. I bought one singlet and I sort of got delivered, put it on and kind of went, oh, this wasn't really what I thought it would be. And it wasn't so much a tight fit, but it was just quite low cut. And I was sort of like, that's not what I thought it would be. So then going forward, I've now started looking more for that kind of information. And sort of, that whole, okay, I just want, a loose t-shirt to go and do some gardening in. I don't want something that's sort of real tight and that I'm going to be getting really hot in over summer. So I think being really specific and giving that information to a client, but it's really those features and benefits that you're highlighting as well.
Oh, we women are very particular about our clothes.
Really.
Jeanette has a question. Can you use feedback from social media, say Facebook, on your website testimonial without getting specific approval?
Very interesting one. And I think people will have different answers for this one. Generally, though, I feel like someone's taken the effort to give that to you on your page, and so they're giving you that content, and you can copy and paste it across to other areas of your website. So it's there as that. I think one way to back yourself up, though, is on your Facebook page in particular, you can have an about section and then also some rules for your page and how you will engage with people. So you can use that section to go, if you leave us a review or a testimonial on our Facebook page, we may use this on our website. That way you're just covering yourself, but definitely a great idea to do.
Great tip on that little disclaimer there. What's the most important aspect of my homepage content?
Homepage, yep. So this one, and I probably said it a couple of times already, but that hero image in UVP, I feel is the most important of your homepage. In fact, I would just say go do that now. Like everyone go look at their website, go look at their UVP and their hero image. It is most of the time, unless you've got ads specifically pointing to other products or pages on your website and linking people through to that, when people come to your homepage, that's what they're seeing. And immediately they're making a decision of, does this website fit me as a person? Are they going to offer what I need? So that's that text there, and highlighting what you do as a business is really important. And so it's that 3 to 5 seconds, to capture someone's attention, just like in real life as well. I think people, do make those judgments, as much as we try not to be judgmental. I think the judgments are automatic. You meet someone, you kind of make a bit of a decision, same as reading a book. You read the first page, you've made a decision where you probably feel this book's for you or not as well.
Absolutely. It's that 8-second rule, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jeanette just touched on this before about using reviews, but what's the best way to encourage people to write reviews for products and services?
Yep. Ask. The worst they can say is no, or the worst is that they leave a negative review, but you can turn negative reviews into a positive. So I think the key is to always be ask for reviews. When you're starting out, or if you don't have a huge following yet, it might just be asking people that you've had some feedback from, or if someone sends you a nice email going, oh, your products work fantastic, really love it, just go, great. Are you happy for me to use this on my website? Use this as a review. But also, once you start growing, you may get to a space where you actually can automatically put that into your process. So, for example, I reference NZ Muscle, that's someone who I've purchased from recently. Once my order's been shipped to me and I've received it, about a couple of days later, I start getting an email going, did you like your product? Do you want to leave a review? I've ignored it so far, which a lot of people will do. So you need to expect that. But they've asked me, and there will be some people that take that as an call to action to then leave a review. Okay, so it's all about that asking. Now, I did just touch on it. The worst case scenario is a no or a negative review. I guess negative review probably a bit more. Use the negative review to spin it to a positive. So it's your chance to actually look good and go, well, as a company, we don't like negative reviews and we don't like that you had a negative experience. So please talk to us if you haven't already. Sometimes though, you may have already talked to them and tried to work out a solution. You still need to put a response to the review in the best light you can possible as well. And that may be, sorry to see that you're still unhappy with our resolution. Still happy to talk about this further, okay? So that's always what you try and do with your negative ones.
Great tip there. And yes, always need to address those negative ones too. Jeanette's asked, can you provide some calls to action for coming to an event that you have found really work with prospective clients?
So I'm probably going to go two angles here. So the first one, if you're just talking about on your website, it's just going to be around book now or learn more about the review, about the event. If you're sort of talking more about some call to action of how to maybe more inspire them to come to an event, it might be more, you could do like book before the 30th of November and get a free pack or something, like give them something for doing it. So people like instant rewards, and people like to know that, hey, if I actually do this or inquire now, I'm going to get something out of it. You see it with early bird discounts. So book now, get 10% off. Otherwise, this is the price. So that if it's a paid event, that's one way to do it. But generally, your main call to actions on a website for buttons will just be book now or learn more about the event on there. But those are some incentives you can add in behind it as well.
Super. Thank you, Lisa. We don't have any more questions. So let's just cover or recap on the presentation today. Whether you're just starting out or you're a bit of a veteran in the digital space, continuing to improve your knowledge and the fundamentals your digital business is built around is an important aspect. What we know. The type of content on your website and how it is positioned is an important part to setting your business up for digital success. Opportunity. It's never too late to update content on your website and improve it. Get ahead of the competition by putting a plan in place to do this over a few months. Prediction. Businesses whose content attracts and assists their customers through their online sales funnel will be more successful. Recommendation. Focus on updating your content on your homepage, top 5 to 10 products or 2 to 3 services first. Zeld has helped over 15,000 businesses transform digitally over the last 20 years. If you would like support setting up marketing automation or even getting an idea around a potential digital strategy journey for your business, then please get in touch with us. We provide free strategy or website audit sessions with our team of experienced digital business strategists. If you would like a strategy session, please provide this feedback in the survey after the webinar. Our GEM or Get E-commerce Movement initiative is available to all small to medium businesses who need to get online. We're offering free website builds for e-commerce, service and charity businesses with a no sale, no fee hosting arrangement for the first 12 months. If you'd like to know more or know someone who could benefit from a free website build, please visit our website, zeld.com, for more information. And for our next webinar on the 11th of November at 9 a.m, we're excited to have a guest speaker this time. This topic is photography tips and tricks to produce high quality, enticing images that will be powerful in conjunction with what you have learned today about product descriptions and sales content. A special thanks to our presenter today, Lisa. We appreciate your valuable insights and extensive knowledge.
Thanks, Helen.
If you missed part of the webinar or would like to see it again, we will be posting a video of this webinar on our YouTube channel. And if you know anyone that might benefit from attending these in future, please feel free to share the link to register. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we look forward to seeing you here next week at 10 a.m.
Bye.